I just remember the first time you told me, and I had such a visceral reaction.
Oh,
I felt crazy.
you know, go from reggae to podcast, have some idle activities thrown in between. A very, very typical life cycle of an artist, I think. Every once in a while, throw in some weed bullshit. What can I say? I'm a creative. The world never understands me.
Anyway, hi, I'm Jules.
I'm Magpie, and welcome to Banana. Hear Me Out
Bunniichii Corner.
Madness. Oh, that too.
Maggie, what month is it?
It's March.
And what does that mean?
March Madness for people who like sports.
And what does
But
it mean for
we
people who
don't.
don't like sports?
For us weebs and people who don't know how to tackle a ball, we want to talk about our favorite husbandos and waifus that a therapist would be concerned if we told them we liked them. So this week's
That's an
Bunniichii
accurate
Corner,
assessment.
maybe a part one, maybe a part two, who knows? We're gonna do the Wii version of March Madness, and it is, let's say it together, 1, 2, 3. Hear me out, madness! Julie, say hear me
Hear
out,
me out,
madness. Hear me out,
madness.
madness! Amazing.
And-
I'm gonna
So,
tell
Maggie,
myself
how
to
is this
add
going to
those
work?
air horns, but I'm not gonna do
You're
it.
not going to.
No, 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 I'm not.
Maggie, what are the rules? How does this work?
Hear me out, madness. Julie and Magpie, the icons of Bunniichii Corner, are going to bring forward their 12 hear me outs. What is a hear me out, you might ask? Well, here at Bunniichii Corner, we're always 6 months late to any internet trend. So we finally figured out what a hear me out is and decided, let's acquire them and see which is the best hear me out. We will each have 2 minutes to argue as to why our hear me out is the better of the two.
Should be heard out.
No, no. At the end, we'll just know. We'll know why they're the perfect bit, or person,
Fair enough.
or animal, or being.
Creature. Maggie,
Hey,
how
hey,
many hear
yo.
me outs did each of us submit?
Each one of us has 12 each. You might be wondering, you might be wondering, wow, that's a lot. What happened is when I think competitions, as someone who watches WWE and thinks of the Royal Rumble, I was like 12 each. Yeah, that's going to go by fast. I forgot what brackets are. I forgot what a bracket system is, and we put it all together, and I put it in a bracket, and there's so many things.
That'll be
Yes,
great.
I can math. Yes, I can math. There's 24 hear me outs total. We're going to be doing the equivalent of a 3 month long series and speed run it. We're the GDQ of weebs. GDQ,
Mistakes have.
proud GDQ, proud sponsors of Bunniichii Beyond Borders.
Oh no! DraftKings, where you at?
DraftKings, give us a
Give us
spawn.
money.
Give us money. We are the Draft Kings.
Yep.
What?
Uh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll have 2 minutes maximum each. I do have a little stopwatch going on my
Oh,
phone. I
me
will
too.
debate kid you and tell you to shut the hell up if you go over two
No.
minutes.
Perfect.
All right. Round one, Maggie. Who is it? And
Round
wait, no, hold
one.
on. We also have to say who is repping who.
Round one
So,
in Jules's corner is John Hancock from Fallout. In corner two on Magpie's corner is Stu from Scream. Woo! Begin. Julie, do you want to go first?
I'll go first. Sure, I'll start and then you'll start
Marvelous.
the next one.
Okay.
Uh, John Hancock, what
Mm-hmm,
isn't great about him? He is a very supportive person. He is a
mm-hmm,
man of the people. Sure, he is just a little bit ugly, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And like considering my crush on Gob and Raul from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, I think I'm just a broken person who likes ghouls. Um,
mm-hmm,
sure, he's an addict and a murderer and a heathen and a very hedonistic individual, but
mm-hmm,
hear
mm-hmm.
me out,
Yeah.
he likes cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
Eh, he
I
has
see.
strong morals that he'll stick
Oh.
to.
Mm-hmm,
He's
mm-hmm,
not afraid to stab a bitch for you.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And once you do his romance and he opens up, he's just a really sweet guy who also happens to kind of be a criminal. But what's so wrong about that?
Ah!
I think John Hancock should be heard out.
I respect your presentation to the committee, and we'll keep that in mind for this coming round. All right, here's my hear me out for Stu of Scream. So, Stu, you might be wondering, who is Stu? Played by the infamous Matthew Lillard. Well, it's Matthew Lillard playing himself, kind of, but more exciting. Is he part of the murderous duo of Ghostface? Yes. Does he have impeccable fashion taste? Yes. Does he have a girlfriend? Well, not anymore. She's dead, so he's available. Is he maybe in a somewhat homoerotic relationship with his best friend, he's also murdering with? Yes. However, what does that say about him as an individual? It means he's extremely supportive of his best friend's, uh, should we say, passions, his dream of killing his best friend's girlfriend's mom, and then everyone related to her. He's extremely passionate, loving, has great one-liners. Apparently, is at least decent in bed and is always willing to improve. And of course, he looks like Matthew Lillard. My case rests. Stu.
I'm kind of swayed a little bit. I love a passionate man. I love a
Mm-hmm,
man
mm-hmm,
who is
mm-hmm,
either confident in his sexuality or
mm-hmm,
confident in his masculinist that he doesn't mind being a little homoerotic. I like someone who can take feedback.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They work together.
I
This
might
is a combined effort. Tag
That's
team it.
true.
They're in multiple places at once,
Does
but they're
this mean
always on
if
the same
I
page.
does this mean if I date Stu, I also
Mm,
get to hang out with his best friend?
yes,
Okay, so that means I now get a second best friend.
correct.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I might have to agree with you, Maggie. I think Stu needs to be heard out.
Stu!
Proud of you.
Stu is the winner. Good job, Stu. We'll see you. That's not where I
We'll
thought it was
see
going to
you
go.
soon.
We'll see you soon. I didn't think Stu would win. Amazing. John
Hey,
Hancock,
I'm
you will
just
be
willing to hear you
missed.
out.
John Hancock, you will be missed. Um, for next year for sure. All right.
Yeah, he'll be a returning underdog.
Yeah. All right. Next up, in Jules' corner, we have the Penguin from the series The Penguin, the live action one, as in Batman, the Penguin. In Magpie's corner, we have Kento Shibata from Mei-chan's Butler, aka the kid who never learned how to style his hair and does not have lighting or the film crew on his side.
It's really true. It's really true.
All right. Since Jules since Jules started it last time, I will begin with my case for Kento. Who is Kento, you might ask? He is everyone's childhood best friend who is always going to be supportive. Is he maybe a bit volatile? Is he maybe going to lash out a bit because he's a bad boy? Yes, of course he's a bad boy. He's always going to be like throwing around a desk saying, "Ah, don't take me down. I'm gonna stick it to the man. Don't let the system tie me down." But if you want something very specific, he's gonna follow you and support you. what does he do with May when she somehow gets inherited a lot of money and goes to a school where every girl has a butler? He owns his birthright of being part of the most famous butler's family in Japan and goes and becomes an apprentice butler so he can serve May. And he supports women's rights and wrongs. He will help people break rules. He will defend your cooking skills, even if they're trash. And he's honest to a fault. What will the lighting always kill him and make him look older than he is? Yes, but you can fix him as you can fix his hair. For the board's options, I give Kento Shibata.
Understood. Um, the Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot, he is an iconic figure throughout comic history. Not to mention, in a lot of iterations, also Jewish. So my father would approve.
Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm,
He may be a mob boss, yes, but hear me out.
mm-hmm,
This just means there's so much he can give you. He can give you
mm-hmm,
safety,
mm-hmm.
he can give you wealth beyond your wildest
Ooh, that
dreams.
is nice.
Not to mention, he is a passionate individual, as shown in his murder scenes. And I
Ooh.
imagine that passion extends elsewhere, too. You mentioned that you can fix Kento,
I can.
but Oswald Cobblepot can make you worse.
Ooh,
And
that is
what's
tempting.
better than leaning in to the darkest parts of who you are and being embraced and accepted and loved for them? He may not be a good man, but he will be good to you. Not to mention, in a world where we have Batman and the Joker and Bane and Poison Ivy and all of these other powerful superheroes and super powered people, he's just a man. And he is managing to stand on his own 2 feet with nothing more than his own gumption, wit, and skill. I rest my case.
You know what? I do love someone who can care for me and will make me worse. Do you think there's a potential for me to also make the penguin worse?
Oh, you'll make each other worse.
Perfect. Penguin, you win. Well,
He might be ugly, but he wins.
I work with that. I can work with that.
You know what? I mean, I've seen the pictures of Kento Shibata, and oh boy, that lighting is not his friend.
Yeah.
It's really
It,
bad.
when I put the pictures of like next to each other, I think Patton Oswalt is gonna look better than Kento. So it's gonna be like a not even a fair game, not even a fair fight.
I mean,
Poor
if you like a
Kento.
man with scars, I'm just
I
saying.
do. That means he's been through some things. Been through some.
He's been through some things. All
All right.
right, who do we have up on qualification round number 3?
Round number 3. We're gonna have our first. I'm gonna say threesome, and don't. Okay, everyone, ready in round 3.
Our
That's
tag
right. As a
team?
quick aside, we're gonna tag team it with a soloist. In the first corner, coming up in Jules's corner, we have Alisa and Saki from Fruits Basket.
Woo!
Woo! And then in corner 2, from the unknown anime princess Tutu that no one knows about, unless you're me and a few others, Crazy! We have the girls in their first fight. It's not going to be a cat fight, but it's going to be one for the animals. Let's see who wins in
Ding
this. Hear me
ding!
out. Ding ding!
Okay, listen, Arissa and Saki. I had a hard time picking women for this because I don't think women need to hear me out. You look at them and you go, "Yeah, I understand." That's my only excuse for the improper bi representation here. My apologies. Women are great. And 2 women are better than one. Hear me out, Arissa and Saki. Best friends of Toru, so now you also get to hang out with Toru. Best friends with each other, so it's not like you're dating both of them. All 3 of you are dating each other.
A
Not
cool.
to mention a proper cule. Not to mention, on one hand, we have your creepy little black cat goth girl who will put bad vibes on anyone who looks at you wrong. And on the other hand, we have the tall, blonde, hot delinquent who will bash the skulls in of anyone. Anyone! who says a single bad thing about you. These girls are loyal, they are good, and they will be there for you, damn it. I rest my case.
You have some excellent points there, Jules. Really making you're really giving me off like a horrible starting point. I am already so, but Crahy, I believe Crahy can maybe have a solid fight. Now, Crahy, who is she? She is not Rue. She is not the alter ego schoolgirl Rue. She is just a black swan, both physical and metaphorical. Why would I want to be with a black swan, you might ask? Well, because it's ballet. She's going to be emoting with her body. If you are having some kind of fight going on, she's going to be dancing for you. Obviously, very, very passionate. It's not going to help with the fight. You're going to lose. She's winning, obviously. You're drawn to her beauty. What? She does not, she's not nice at all. So, of course, you're just going to be being spoken to very meanly, and she's going to try and steal your french fries at any time because she wants what she can't have. But she deserves it because she's crazy. Now, hear me out. This might sound like a horrible toxic relationship, and you'll be right. But we all need that. And then also, at some point, you're going to find out that she's actually a princess, and she's got money, and is from a good family. And she will turn a new leaf. And she can fix herself because she don't need anyone, but she chooses to have you by her side. Crazy. Also, bomb ass fashion. She looks great.
I mean, this is true. She does have some bomb
She's
ass
got some
fashion.
fits. She does.
She does have some fits.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Mm-hmm.
I do like the whole princess angle that you have going on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mostly because I'm gonna out myself here. I do like the bratty princess vibe.
She's
I think
very
that's
bratty
very
princess.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Mm-hmm.
bratty princess.
A lot
And
of fun to work with.
I think the unfair part on my side with this one is I think Crahy is a more true hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
I
she is more
agree.
technically accurate.
She's technically accurate to what the internet has described as a hear me out, especially since, but
She's a
also
bird.
she she's a bird, yes and no. There's a bit of Princess Tutu has no rhyme and reason. It's already kind of an advantage point because it's ballet and an
Would she tell
anime.
me what to do?
Oh, absolutely. And she
Okay.
would
I
slap
think
you
I
if you
might
said no and
I
walk
think I might go
away.
with Crahy.
I
I
think
need
this is
some
the
of that
correct
toxic
decision.
girl in my life.
Oh yeah, very toxic. And she rocks both the long hair and the bob.
I love a girl who can do both.
She can do both.
All right, I've heard her out.
All right, Crazy. Moving on. Good job, Crazy. Didn't expect that. I was solidly gonna go for Arisa and Saki.
Well, yeah, but are they truly a hear me out?
Well, they could be a hear me
Because
out.
when I was showing my other best
Mm,
friend, my second best friend,
yeah, of
my
course, going to number
list
one.
of hear me outs,
Mm-hmm,
she knows
mm-hmm.
where she is on the totem pole.
As she
Uh,
should.
she asked me if these two would even count, and my defense was like, in Fruits Basket, if you're writing fan fiction, no one picks
Right.
them.
No,
So they're a hear me out for Fruits Basket, but are they a hear me out in general?
because see, I would think
That's the
that they're
hard
hear
part.
me out if we're talking to someone whose idea of a relationship is only monogamous. If we're expanding it, then it's not as much of a hear me out. So it's going to be dependent on the listener and the person that's judging.
That's fair.
So, so
Craigie
I would
gets this
classify it
round.
as go crazy. Round two is going to be wild. I don't know if you have the tournament bracket up on your end, but it's already going to be wild.
I'm really excited for a round two, match four.
Yeah.
All right, round one, match four.
Woo!
Are we on four? We're on four.
Match four for round one. In Jules' corner, We got Choo Choo from
Like
Mercury,
great.
from Gundam.
Yeah, Witch from
Witcher from
Mercury.
Mercury.
Witcher.
Gundam. I've been thinking about Geralt for too long. Anyways, and in
He's
Magpie's
now to
corner
hear
we
me
got.
out.
I know. I'm still mad about it. I'm still
Magpie, who
mad.
are you repping?
Yuko Ichihara from Clamp's unknown classic, Holic. I believe in this situation it is I that starts this.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. We've all wanted that very toxic goth girlfriend. But what if we could have more? She's not only toxic, she's also an alcoholic. And she's a medium. She's also someone who sees ghosts and helps people with possessions. Now, you might say, oh, this is too much, too much, too much, too much. And I would say yes. She has amazing commode. She has an amazing house. She makes a wonderful living. She has haunted objects, yes, but she also has portals to other dimensions. If you want to go into the world of Choppets, she's got a room for that. You want to go to see all the people from Subasa? She got a room for that. Do you want a hot goth GF who smokes and somehow doesn't have lung cancer, but still definitely an alcoholic, but acknowledges it and does nothing about it? And she'll also bully you to do what she wants. Then Yuko Ichihara is the girl for you. I rest my case.
Heard, chef.
Thank you, chef.
Oh, damn it. I should have put Carmi on here.
That would have been so good. if you want,
Fucking Carmi,
hey,
Jesus.
if you want to switch one of your people out, that's on the rest of round one. Go for it.
I'm I might. That's really funny. I love Carmi. Um, but you know who I love more than our
Hmm.
local angry beef chef?
Right. Yes, chef.
Fucking Choo Choo from Witch from Mercury. Choo Choo is I fell in love with her the moment I saw her because she gets her aggro on at the drop of a fucking hat. She
Hmm.
will
Hmm.
throw down before her enemy can breathe. She is
Ooh.
aggressive, she is passionate, and she is not afraid to apologize when she's wrong. She will admit her mistakes, and she will, in fact, go after people. Like the enemy of her enemy is her friend.
Hmm.
There are multiple scenes where she gets aggro on one person, later comes to like them, and then gets aggro for that person. Do
Ooh.
you want a small, fluffy, pink, angry chihuahua girlfriend who will kneecap someone if they so much as breathe in your direction? And do you want someone who is passionate about human rights, who is very anti war, who just wants to do good for the world, and who has a giant robot? Because I want a girlfriend who has all of
Hmm.
these things. I rest.
You have me until the robot. Where am I going to
Okay.
house this robot?
Well, you see, you're in Gundam World, and it's actually not
Yes.
her robot.
Mm-hmm.
It is a
Mm-hmm.
robot that she helps pilot and maintain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But giant robots can be flown, used. You can shoot a
Okay.
big
Okay.
gun.
How much would it cost to fuel aforementioned robots?
Well, you see, this is something that comes up later in the series as children wrestle with the fact that these giant robots are used for war against mankind, and it's a whole anti-war show.
That
uh,
checks out that you like the show then. Um,
yeah.
since this is technically an anti-war show, would we have to lend this robot out to the army and use it for war
Um,
crimes?
you end up using it to stop war crimes.
Okay.
You're on the side of war crimes and children and robots are bad, maybe, actually.
I do like that.
I'm just
I
saying
do
a
like that.
dynamic character who learns from her wrongs, but
Hmm.
still at
Hmm.
her core maintains that really aggressive personality.
Hmm.
I mean, hear me
Roaster then.
out. Plus, she's pink coated.
Ooh, I do like a pink coated.
Big
You
pink
know what?
fluffy hair.
Do you have any questions about Yuko?
Um, I mean, how much does she smell like cigarette smoke, honestly? Will it trigger my asthma?
She has a remedy for that.
Is it called I die?
No, she has a potion for that.
Okay. I like a bad girl. I feel like she's a little past Crahy, and Crahy's kind of my limit of being
Your
a bitch.
limit. Gotcha, gotcha. I think that Choo Choo is
I
going to
am
win
not
this
hearing
round.
you out.
It's okay. She was I don't think I could truly give Yuko the attention that she deserves, which is all of it, and I would just get no sleep. So Yuko, you go back to a weird dimension. Choo Choo,
You stay there.
you get to go to round two.
Choo choo! I'll
Choo
head
Choo's
aboard
going to
the
Men's
choo
Force
choo train. Oh no. Hey, spoiler alert.
I'll just bleep it out, maybe.
Round five. Wait, no, we're not round five. Match one. Match five. Round one. I'm so tired.
Next one. Next one. In Jules' Corner, we have Alice from American McGee's Alice Madness Returns. And you're really going to
Woo!
have to sell me on how this is a hear me out because you just had to put her there, and I said yes. In Magpie's Corner, we have Hannibal and Doelia from manga the same name. Fight.
I think I start. Alice Lytle. Do
Yes.
you like emotionally unavailable,
Yes.
mentally unstable women
Yes.
who are
Yes.
actively working through their shit?
Yes.
Because I think one thing people don't understand about
Yes.
the
Yes.
American
Yes.
McGee's Alice
Yes.
Lytle
Yes. Yes.
is that these games are about her working through her shit. It's her processing her trauma, becoming stronger for it, coming into her own. She is a strong-willed woman. She isn't afraid of anything. She has gone through hardship and has learned to stand up tall, and she will stand up for you. Whatever you're going through, she will listen. She will be there for you, and she will understand that healing is sometimes a very hard and painful and difficult thing to do because she has done it herself. You can't tell me that this Alice Lytle wouldn't, on one hand, both stab your enemies and also wrap you in a blanket and hold you while you process the worst moments of your life. She is the penultimate girlfriend. And that's my argument.
Yes.
You're like, I'm already sold.
Oh, okay, so just yeah, it's
Tell me
Alice.
about your girls.
Hey yo, my girls, what up? Oh, I hated that. I'm starting again.
Two
I'm
fuckboy,
starting
two
it.
fuckboy, try again. We need it more gay, less straight.
Let me get a drink of water first. Go from straight to gay. Wait, I just gotta clear it up. Oh,
Little, I mean, we heard it here first, folk. Water is the way to queer it up.
that's right. Water says wet. Uh, and an angel and a devil at a spa. Have you ever thought of having an angel and a demon, one on each shoulder, telling you what to do and what not to do? Well, why not have both? With Abel and Doelia. Not only is one an angel and one a demon, they're also best friends. And they have some sort of maybe further than a friendship relationship, but they're always willing to woo and love someone else. Now, would they potentially, technically, overturn the world and cause an apocalypse because someone stole their shoes? Yes. Would they potentially cause a plague because someone burned down Paris Fashion Week? Yes. Yes, they would. Would one of them create a spa because you were having a bad day and you need a rest? Yes, they would. Would they find that one moment in time to when you were younger and you found that one piece of pie and it just brought you the best of times, worst of times, and just made you whole, they'd go back there and get it for you. Would they give you motivation, cause for concern sometimes? Would they be together for you to back you up through thick and thin, good times and bad? Absolutely. Because ultimately, they are encompassing the entirety of the moral human experience. And all they want is a good time. And that's what you'll get with Enel and Dwelia.
So, is one literally a devil?
They're both, each one's an angel and one's a demon, quite literally.
Okay.
And they don't listen to their bosses.
Okay. I see. Okay. Um, I know you're really sold on Alice,
I
but
am
I
as well.
am also pretty sold on the concept of just two fashionista lesbians.
They are great. I would, you know what?
This,
I
see,
would
to me, this is
even,
the
here's the thing with these two, they would actively support you in supporting Alice because they're always
Oh
welcoming for
no.
more.
Oh no. See, here's the problem. I think we picked and by we I mean the RNG the worst time to put these two up against someone
I agree. I
because
agree.
I feel like they were gonna win with me no matter what.
I agree as
We
well.
should have put them up against like fucking Choo Choo. They
We
would have
should have, but
swept.
too little, too late. So what I'm
um,
hearing
I'm gonna.
is that the angel and demon on each of our shoulders is saying, "Go forward. Put that money down for
That.
that new purse. Get that new
Oh
cord.
no!
All on
Oh,
their
they would be
money."
so bad for me.
But they have their own cards and they give it to you.
But they'd be so good for me too.
Exactly. And they know.
Oh,
They'd know.
I get the appeal. I'm sold. I want an angel and devil girlfriend.
All right, perfect, perfect. They're going on. Poor Alice. I was really hoping Alice would win, only for a
I
later
look, I
round.
told you, you picked the worst. We should have put her up against fucking Choo Choo or Arissa and Saki.
I did fully random generator. I
I
didn't
know,
want to change
RNG,
it
man.
because there's a few
I
really good ones that I would have put that would have been really fun and really tough. But I also didn't want it to be too manipulated, so it was
I
true just
think this
random.
next one is going to be a sweep.
Is it?
Maggie, you get yeah, you get to start. I really need to understand your reasoning for this one. No judgments.
all, all right, next round in Jules' corner, we got Quiche from Tokyo Mew Mew. In Magpie's corner, we we
You're telling on yourself with this one.
we got the Big Daddy from BioShock.
Bro, I kind of get it already. All right, Maggie, you get to start.
Now, you might be wondering what what happens when you're trapped under the sea. Except be what happens when you're trapped under the sea in a dystopian Lovecraftian world? You're all alone, it's cold, there's nothing, no one to hold you, keep you safe. There's splicers everywhere, people trying to kill you because you just exist. Well, who better to accept you into their family than a Big Daddy? Not only are they large enough to save you, if for some reason you are hurt, they will make sure to end you swiftly so that you don't have to live on in pain. You might be wondering, why are they good for me? Well, they're obviously a family man or person. Big Daddy is just a title in theory. They care for a little sister. So if you've ever wanted a little sister, you wanted a family, and you don't want to give birth to an individual, you already have one right there. Even better, you can get body modifications. They look cool as hell. And you don't have to worry about what to call them at midnight because They're already called daddy. Big daddy for the board, people.
I'm surprised you didn't mention like big strong arms to hold you. They
Nah,
can
nah.
carry you
They
around.
can. They can.
I feel like somewhere deep in your heart more than once you have considered writing some kind of OC Big Daddy fanfic.
Who's telling you that I didn't?
That's fair. That's understandable.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh, Quiche from
Hmm.
Tokyo Mew Mew
Yes, yes.
has been an iconic figure in my
Mhm,
life and in the lives of so many other magical girl lovers because
mhm, mhm,
Quiche,
mhm,
I think it's safe to say, um, awoken a love of bad boys for so many people. Because
mhm, mhm,
here's
mhm,
the thing about Quiche. First of all, I'm not gonna lie, the scene where he kisses Ichigo against her will, yes, yikesy. Also, yes, love
Hot.
it. he, he's
Hot.
he is a charming guy.
Mhm, mhm,
He has
mhm.
very Peter Pan energy.
Ooh,
He
love.
would do anything for the object of his desire, and that object could be you. But here's also the thing about
Mm,
Quiche.
mhm, mhm.
He's willing to put his life literally on the line for someone who doesn't even love him back. He is willing to
Ooh.
risk it all for one-sided love because it's the
Mhm.
right thing to do. It is his heel turn moment as a villain to a baby face.
You even
And
used
I just
wrestling terms.
want him to be happy.
Quiche wins.
He could date me. I want him
He
to
can
be
pick
happy. Pimpy quiche.
me. Quiche.
I did use a wrestling term.
Yeah, you used two.
I used to, and I used them correctly.
You did. You did. That means either A, you research
I
that on your
listened to
own.
you.
Oh, that's even more impressive.
I listened to you.
The thing was, when I saw that Keish and Big Daddy were together, I knew I was like, Big Daddy's not even really it's
I
not even a
really
fight.
wanted
Keish is gonna
like,
win, but I
yeah.
wanted to at least throw in like the daddy bit. I wanted to do a few
Oh,
things that
absolutely.
would
We
work.
all look. He's already called Big Papa.
They call me Big Papa. What a time. Oh my gosh. Oh Keish. I am concerned for second round. Anyways, back to our next.
I even looked.
Wait, can you see it on your end?
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Who's up next?
With two more fights scheduled for round one before we go on to the highly anticipated round two. In this wrestling ring, we have in Jules' corner Nekazawa from Oron High School Host Club, a fan favorite. And then in Magpie's corner, another fan favorite, we have Howl, but in bird form.
I'm not over the
Begin.
fact that it's in bird form. All right, you want me to fucking begin? Do you love femme goth guys?
Yes.
If yes, Nico Zawa is your man. He is a little creepy dude. He is just a strange little fellow. He loves puppets. He has a
Oh,
creepy little puppet.
I
He
do love
loves to
puppets.
harass the host club, so you could join
Perfect.
him in the harassment of the host club. And here's the thing, he is a dark prince.
A dark
He is a
prince.
prince of the night because when you take that wig off and you take that hood off, he is just a sexy, sexy, twinky blonde man. So if you love dark magic, dark princes, and twinky little blonde men, Nikozawa is your guy. I rest my
Do like
case.
this. I like them. Speaking of little twinks, if you like your
This is the
twinks a
twink
bit,
zone, isn't it?
it's the twink zone. If you want your twink not like all the other boys, but instead a bit more magical, I give you Howl, but in bird form. Because yeah, there's always something a bit magical, whether it be in powder form or by just the energy that they exude, but how you can actually physically see it. He can get you places. Does he maybe bring forward spirits when he dyes his hair the wrong color? Yeah, but who doesn't? I brought the dead back a few times when I colored my hair the
Standard
wrong color.
femme experience.
Of course. So he understands your feminine struggles if you identify as such. Are you trying to get out of a militaristic society? Guess what? Hal ultimately is not going with the king's idea of starting a fight against the world because he kind of has morals. Kind of. Because you can fix him and make him better. Do you want a moving castle? Well, guess what? Not only is Hal in bird form, the owner of the castle, but also he flies. So you don't even need technically a moving castle. You have Hal. So if you want to not only hug a man, but ride a man who is a twink in bird form, I give to the board Hal in bird form.
Fuck. Fuck, that was too good. I mean, you win this one. You obviously win this one. There's nothing I want more than my boyfriend to be my girlfriend. And Hal is that.
Good job, Hal. Good job, Hal Pendragon.
Even in bird form. You know what? I have nothing against Hal in bird form. That's fine.
Because,
I'm good with
but you
that.
know
We're
what?
fine.
Here's the thing. Even in bird form, if he gives you his heart, it can be a Beauty and the Beast situation.
I'm sold. I'm down. I'm okay.
Beauty,
I
it's
round
Hal.
round two outs my monster loving bullshit. We're good.
Thank you. Uh, Hal, congrats. You go on to the second round.
Easy
Julie,
win. Solid sweep.
what did you think of my final line? Uh,
That is what sold me. Not gonna lie, I was leaning
uh,
heavily towards yes, and then
uh,
that line dropped. I was like, oh, Maggie thought about this.
at
Last
least one thumb up.
match.
Last match of round one. Welcome back. No, wait, I'm gonna do that for second round. Actually, forget I did that. Our last our last match of round one. In Jules' corner, we got Roland from Baldur's Gate 3.
Woo!
And then in Magpie's corner, we got Heather Chandler, the mythic bitch from Heather's.
And begin.
Begin. Now, have you ever wanted to date the popular girl in high school? The answer is obviously yes, because you're a nerd. Do you want to also get that magical makeover package? The answer is also yes, because you're a nerd. Do you want to be told that you suck because you have some little self-demeaning, um, leaning principles? Yes. And guess what? Heather Chandler can give that to you. She is not only a bitch, she's a mythic bitch. She rules all, some might say. She even does her own makeover project. Sometimes they're, you know, people, but she'll make you in her own image. She'll make you popular. She'll even help you rule the school, if you so wish. If, maybe she dies, she'll still be around. She's not leaving you for the afterlife. She's with you till the end. She's with you to hold hands across America. And she's going to look great doing it in a bathroom. Go, Heather Chandler.
So, I know you're not a big Baldur's Gate person,
No,
so you don't actually know who Roland is, but
I only
Roland is
know
also a
Pirate.
mythic bitch.
Oh, two
Roland
bitches.
is Cunty McGee over here. Uh, Roland is a survivor from literally having his city drawn into hell after a corrupt priest sold all of their souls to an archdevil. He is in a class of people who are discriminated against, and so he has that like chip on his shoulder energy. He is a highly intelligent man, he a wizard even, uh who has two siblings who he loves incredibly dearly, so dearly in fact that he is willing to risk his own life to go into a cursed land to save them, even though he knows he doesn't have the strength to do it, because they are the only people he has left, and he will save them at the cost of his own life. But here's the other thing about cunty Roland over here. First of all, quippy as hell. Second of
Ooh.
all, he just needs a hug.
Oh,
Third
that
of
could be even
all,
better.
have you seen tieflings? They have a
Yeah.
tail. They
Oh,
have little notches along their spine, and they
oh my
have
goodness.
horns that you can grab for
For
reasons.
reasons.
Not to mention a wizard, he can literally make
Oh,
duplicates of himself. He can
so
make
many
multiple
things.
magical hands. Are you kidding me? Who
There's so
doesn't
many
want to
options.
date Roland? He is going to be the next great wizard after killing Lord Lorolican. Duh.
I support him. I support him in his campaign.
He
I
truly
think
is a very, very bitchy man. I need you to know this.
I think that in this quest for finding the most mythic bitch, Heather's been outbitched by Roland.
By a
You initially
literal
had me with the
mythic bitch.
quips. Yeah, you
He's
had
a
me initially with the
very quippy
quips.
man. And he just
And
needs
then
some
you
good
kept
in his life.
going.
I love
And then
Roland.
as someone who loves the magics, you won me over. I think there's a lot of options here that we can see in the future. All right,
Roland's a good
everyone.
man.
We are going to
That
quick
wraps up round one.
done. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break and we'll be back to you after these messages. Wait, sorry, what? What? What was that? No one was going to sponsor this? What? I thought we had. You mean Squarespace? Uh-huh, I see. You're saying the execs didn't okay this to begin with, so you think that we should pull it from airing. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Well, I think you're wrong. I think the people are gonna love this. Yeah, yeah, okay, okay. Well, well, the scheduled commercial break is almost done. What do you want me to do? Okay, well, you too then. Welcome back from that commercial break, folks.
Wow, that was one hell of a commercial, Maggie. I'm so glad you could line that up for us.
I know, what can I say? I thought for the one and only Hear Me Out Madness that we needed a sponsor. We actually have two more. I can't wait to see who's up on the chopping block next. Welcome to the second round.
We don't have air horns. We are the air horns.
We are there. All right. First match of the second round, we have
This isn't gonna go
Gyutaro.
well.
We've got Gyutaro from Demon Slayer in Jules's corner. And in Magpie's corner, we have someone who some might say is the returning murderer of hearts, Stu from Scream. Begin.
Gyutaro is a demon.
Mhm, mhm,
Let's
mhm,
start
mhm.
there. A literal demon. He admittedly does have a little bit of a weird thing going on with his super hot sister, who's also a demon. I'm just saying, if you're into that, maybe if you want two hot demons who are into you, that's a whole thing. But here's the real appeal of Gyutaro for people who like just fucked up men. He has
Mm,
really,
mm,
really low self-esteem
mm,
and would
mm,
100% be an incel. His entire life, no, hear me out. His entire
nah.
life is defined by being ugly and useful to people. What he needs is someone to show him a single ounce of kindness, and he will be obsessed with you. He will do anything for you. He will murder, he will slaughter, he will burn down countries for you because you saw something in him other than this monstrous exterior and his ability to do things and be productive and be an item because to you he's special. So if you like ugly, obsessive, mentally ill demon men, Gyutaro is the man for you.
I do see what you've brought to the table here. However, I would like to counteract with Stu. We have talked over before how he's very comfortable in his sexuality, that he has a very close friend. He's very passionate about pursuing his own passions as well as supporting other people in their passions. But what would you say if his friend is also part of a package deal? He's also got a lot going on with him because he thinks that people think that he's just a dumb idiot who can only do sports. But there's more to him than that. He likes art and film and cinema. And anytime that he commits a heinous murder, why, there's an art form to it. You can't just go in, hack and slash. You have to start off with some questions. He's the one that created the iconic ghost face, in a way. The iconic delivery of lines of what's your favorite scary movie? There's so many options. He will help you go above and beyond what you've ever dreamed. Stu. Vote for Stu.
Would Stu make me popcorn if I asked for a movie night?
Absolutely. He'd do Jiffy Pop or he'd do stuff on the stove.
Would I be in danger of being murdered by Stu if I was his
No.
girlfriend?
No.
Would I be in danger of being murdered by Stu's friend if I was Stu's girlfriend?
No.
Because I'll be honest, I kind of buried the lead. Gyutaro
You
has
actually
to
kind of
eat
do.
people.
Ah!
Um, like literally, not in like a sexy way.
No, no. I think Stu.
You're not being sold.
I I think I think I draw the line at murder. Cannibalism, even if it's a demon, I can't get behind that. If it's a murder of passion, or if there's an overall reason why they're working their way up murder wise to create a good storyline like a movie, yes, I got you.
Also, admittedly, now that I'm thinking a little more about it, Gyutaro would also be like at the whims of Muzan. So if Muzan wanted you dead, you'd be okay. No, Stu's the right choice. Sorry,
Stu.
Gyutaro. You just have too many like extra things. If we could just like like take you out of that, would be fine.
I will already out myself
I
and say
don't want Stu to get to the fucking finale. I don't want him to get to the fucking finale.
I didn't think Stu would get to round two. So I'm really scared on if Stu does get to the finale.
Don't,
We
I
would
mean,
Here's what
I
would
think the
happen.
title I think the title of whoever wins needs to be like the Hear Me Out Baby Girl.
Yeah. Then we'd have anytime we go to a con, we'd have to get all the Ghostface merch.
Yeah,
It's
he's the Hear Me
it's
Out Baby
baby
Girl.
girl. It's a baby girl. The worst
All
part
right.
though is I know what I am, and I'd be like, I would actively I would like reach out to Matthew Lillard's post and be like, can you tell Matthew Lillard that he won our Hear Me Out Madness as Stu from Scream?
Oh God. Okay.
I think that would be so
Round
funny.
two, match two.
Match two. 1 second. I need a Copico. I feel so tired. But with Copico, wow, how refreshed. No sponsor, but Copico. If you ever hear this podcast that only like 15 people listen to, give us candy. All right, round
Candy.
two, match two. In Jules' corner, we have the Penguin.
Let's
The
go.
Penguin. In Magpie's corner, we got Ash from The Evil Dead.
All right, Maggie, you're also gonna
Begin.
have to explain this to me because I haven't seen it. Okay, let's go blind.
All right, Ash is the boy that you've always wanted. He's a big lug, pretty face, not much in the head, but when push comes to shove, he'll be a problem solver and he'll protect you and everyone around you. He might talk tough, but inside he's just a little teddy bear. He's ready to kill the Deadites. If someone resurrects spirits from the dead, ready to shoot him down, shut him down. If he gets an arm mismembered, is cut off, guess what? He figures out a way to have working prosthetics by himself while he's getting chased by demons. That's right. Yeah, he has a chainsaw for an arm. And he did that with no prior engineering skills. And it works. No, wait. Yes. Chainsaw. No, wait. Gun. Wait. I like Evil Dead. Do you want someone who's gonna look at you, give you a very specific necklace, and be like, "I'll do anything for you. I bring you back from the dead," but also maybe things have been fizzling out. Anyways, you've been groovy. Then walk out. Ash is your man. Also, great one-liners and quips.
I'm sorry. Are you trying to sell me on this by saying Ash would hit it and quit it?
He's also one for long-term relationships. As we see in Evil Dead 2, he is fully ready to
Okay.
settle down with his girlfriend before she gets turned into a deadite. Even
I can't
then,
blame a man for changing his mind if he does.
Even then, he shows remorse that he has to kill her again because she's no longer the woman he loved. But images of
Mm.
her dancing in the moonlight still plague his every waking thought.
So would you say I could fix him?
You could, and he'd make you a bit
Could I
worse as
make him
well.
learn to love again?
I think, you know what? With just the right amount of touch, you could meet him in the
I'm sorry,
middle.
you said chainsaw arm?
One arm, just one arm,
Okay.
and he only uses it to defend you. He has a very big, muscly exterior, and he'll protect you with one, defend you with the other. And who knows
Nice.
when you need
Okay.
a you never know when you need a table or any other fixture for any other reason.
I'm sorry, are you saying he's handy?
Yeah, he's really handy with both
Okay.
hands.
Oh, okay. Heard, chef.
Heard chef.
Um, Oswald Cobblepot, as we all know,
Hmm.
is a man of dubious morals. He is a man who has been throughout his entire life punching up. He is always
Hmm.
punching above his weight class. He will do what it takes to get shit done. If
Hmm.
someone gives you a problem, he'll handle it, baby. If
Hmm.
you need something done, don't worry about it. He'll fix the problem for you. You don't even need to know how it got fixed. All you need to know is that he will do it for you because you will be the YN character in a mob boss wife fanfic at this point. Because that's what he is. He's a gangster. He's a mob boss. You want that mob wife aesthetic? Girl, you're going to be literally living the mob wife life. Now, sure, we've heard stories about things going wrong with mob wives. We've all seen The Godfather, but this isn't that because this is a DC comic. This is a DC comic series, so it'll never get that fucking serious. Sure, your life may
uh.
be put at risk or you'll get
Hmm.
arrested, but it'll be fine because we have syndication and we need to keep this going. And that's my second selling point. Yes.
You know, I don't think I'd
Yeah.
quite make it in prison.
I don't think you would either. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of sold on Ash because what I do love a guy with just a weapon for an arm. I'm into
Yeah.
that. uh,
You know,
and
Ash is a
two,
piece
I'm
of
also
trash, but he's a handsome piece of trash, and he ages
um,
beautifully.
he is a very handsome piece of trash, and
And
I do like I.
he has a great one liner. He has so many good quips, very witty, always dry
All right.
delivery. He would understand us.
Oh shoot, you're right. I think he would also put up with us being best friends.
Of course, he'd be like, oh, hey, you
He
two?
he wouldn't try to isolate you.
No, the more the
Mm.
merrier. The whole reason why Ash is in a cabin in the woods to begin with is that it's a friend trip. Him, his girlfriend, his girlfriend's friend, her boyfriend, and then the boyfriend's sister are all there. He's actively making sure that the sister doesn't feel like she's three will in it, making her part of it.
Shit, okay, Ash wins. Ash wins. You got
Ash
me. Huh.
wins! I'm gonna be so scared if the horror characters get to the final round. Good job, Ash.
Mm-hmm.
My pieces of trash continue. Oh!
Yes, Maggie.
Nothing. Anyways.
Oh, I see.
Long live the king. Anyways, match 3 of round 2. Jules' Corner is Bane from Batman.
What? I love Batman.
You took the two hear me outs. I couldn't add others. You took the two hear me outs from Batman. I'm not gonna go in and be like the Joker. Exactly.
He doesn't need to be. Honestly, the only good rendition of the Joker, and I will say this with my whole chest, like come at me, comic bros, is
Mhm.
fucking the one from Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy,
Yep, that is
the
correct.
animated TV show where he becomes like a house dad. It's so
Yeah,
fucking. And then he becomes a mayor. And he's so good.
yeah. It's the
I love that
only
Joker.
iteration where he does better. My favorite horrible version of
And
the
then
Joker is the Killing
worse.
Joke. I think the Joker is great because of how bad he is.
That's
But he's
fair.
not a hear me out because he goes to
Who
places that I would not tolerate.
the hear me out
Anyways,
is Bane and Craigie.
Bane against Craigie, who somehow got to round two.
I'm so proud of her. Bane, look, I don't need to explain myself. I like big men doing big men things. It's the only appeal Warhammer 40K has for me. Bane is a very large man. He is just a big boy. He was born
I need a
in the
big boy.
darkness.
I need a big boy. A big boy.
Now, sure, he is a questionable, morally dubious person,
Mm-hmm,
especially like if
mm-hmm,
you're
mm-hmm.
looking at comic Bane. Yes, he has to keep his mask on, and yeah, sure, he has like venom running through him and everything, but like if you've seen The Dark Knight, he has some fucking points. You
Mm-hmm,
know,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Bane has some point. He's not wrong. He's the villain because the show tells us he's the villain. But is he wrong? Is he actually that evil? He's trying to enact change, and you can be there beside him, for him, with him as his equal. Because Bane would be there for you. You cannot tell me that if someone tried to kidnap you or hurt you, that this man wouldn't literally just start punching in walls like the fucking Kool-Aid man until he got to you. He would break bones in multiple places and then pick you up like a princess and carry you off tenderly because he will never hurt you. He can't hurt you. In this, you're his girlfriend. You're the love of his life, and you will be protected no matter what, even if you don't want to be. And isn't that sweet? Bane for president!
Oh yeah, that's the Kool-Aid man. Oh, it's okay. You can unmute yourself so that then the people at home know you're laughing at my joke.
Don't worry about it. Bane for president.
Along with the Nixon peace signs.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Craigie was already such a weak contender to begin with.
Would you really pick Craigie over Bane?
No, I wouldn't. I would choose
Really? He's a
Bane.
big man.
I know, I would choose Bane. So I feel
Like you
sorry
get
for
the appeal,
Craigie.
right? You
I
don't even have
feel
to argue
bad for
Craigie.
Craigie.
It's fine. She has a romance in her canon story. Bane doesn't.
That's right. We can be Bane's love interest. Bane, you win.
Yeah. Are you like honestly, are you gonna look me in the eye and tell me that Bane, like, if you were like, yeah, can you date me and my best friend, that he would say
Yeah.
no?
He'd say
If you want
yes.
that, if you
He will
want
do
that, if
whatever.
you're okay with it, he's
Mhm,
down.
mhm,
I don't
mhm,
think he'd
mhm,
be the
mhm.
kind of person to initiate a
No, no,
polycule. I
no,
don't
no.
think he would bring it up, but he would
But he'd be
listen to
open.
you if you
Yeah,
brought it to you
and he
because
would
he will do
respect
what
it if it was
makes you
important. Yeah,
happy.
yeah.
Yeah. Bane.
Bane for
Bane for
president.
president.
This
This next
is
one's
feral.
unhinged. This is stupid. I don't want this next one. I don't want the one after that either.
We're gonna have some feral ones out
I
here for
don't
the
actually I
audience.
don't want the rest of these. The rest of these are bad.
You know what? Sometimes we gotta trudge through the mud and through all the trash to see the shining, glimmering light of tomorrow and find the treasure in someone else's trash. And that is exactly the point I want to make in this next wrestling match between Choo Choo from round one's win and the Forest Spirit from Princess Mononoke.
You're making me laugh so much I have to mute myself so I can cough.
No, let the world know that I'm funny. Yes, please. Thank you. Now, we did hear that Choo Choo is part of a very strong anti war campaign and message. But want to know what's bigger than that? What keeps all of us here on Earth together? The world. We're connected by nature. The way that we're best able to see the most clear and ground and connect ourselves to our roots is sometimes just walking through the grass and into the forest. And if you ever feel lost, misdirected, who better to show you the way than the forest spirit? He is the one that rules all of nature. He ensures that once something's dead, it comes back again to its most fullest growth. He keeps the grass green, the rivers running, and even better, he helps bring awareness to the world that we should worry about nature and her life. He wants to make sure that the whole world can live on this beautiful planet that we call Earth and home, while also ensuring that we show kindness to each other. Now, you might be saying, what do you mean, why is this a hear me out? Well, as I stated previously, it's the forest spirit. Being the forest spirit, he does have aspects that make him look similar to some forest creatures. But just because he has the face of a deer lion thing and four legs, sometimes, doesn't mean that he can't shape and morph. What happens during the nighttime? He turns into a beautiful sky of stars, shining light into everyone's life in their darkest times. For the board's review, Forest Spirit.
The board has a few questions. Would this follow along the concept
Mm-hmm,
of if this were a movie?
mm-hmm,
We're now writing a romance movie
mm-hmm.
for the Forest Spirit, a la Studio Ghibli. Would
Yep.
this follow in line with other Studio Ghibli romances where there is no actual like romantic love romance, but more of a deep intellectual, spiritual awakening and fulfillment that goes beyond mere mortal comprehension?
Yes. Yes, it
Okay.
would.
And so okay, then I'm sold.
Perfect. Forest Spirit, you continue to bring life to these
Because
dark
I get
times.
it. I get it. I get that desire to be just so spiritually
Seen.
fulfilled that you don't need anything else.
That's
You are
correct.
so seen to the very core of
Mm-hmm.
who you are that you're
You are
you're
understood.
whole.
Mm-hmm.
You want for nothing. I
I
get it.
agree. I'm glad you understand.
Um, Keeping in line with Monster Men.
Mm-hmm.
Match 5.
Match 5. We have Kisame from Naruto, a show that
Woo!
I've never seen before.
Hmm.
And then our angel and demon girlfriend are back for round two. They just finished up Milan Fashion Week and they're ready for Paris.
So
Ready when you are
I,
for
I'm
your ninja
glad
way.
I'm I'm glad Kisame is coming up before the person in match 7, because I can't just throw you into that fucking deep end. We're gonna start here. That's so much worse than this. Um, Kisame Hoshikage is
Mm-hmm.
a rogue ninja. He is a villain. He is a member of the Akatsuki, not because he inherently has loyalty to them, but because they give him an outlet for his desire for blood. He is quite literally a shark man. Um, I don't know if you
Sharknado.
know about sharks and anatomy,
Meow,
but there's
meow,
some
meow,
fanfics
meow.
out there that you should not read if you're at work to learn about that. Um,
I just heard read fan fictions at work and let's keep going.
let's go. He is a humorous individual. He is always quippy,
Mm-hmm.
in a very dry way. He is the humorous part to his other villainous half, Itachi. Not to mention, Itachi and Kisame, they're best friends. So if you're dating Kisame, not only are you getting a big tall, strong, villainous shark man, you're getting his like really twinky, like gay best friend over there who is chill, very much the black cat of the duo. Kisame understands, a bunch of struggles. He struggled a lot in his
Mhm.
life, and he would listen to you in your struggles. He loves to paint his nails black. He understands the point of accessorizing.
Mhm.
Not to
Mhm.
mention, he has a sword that is sentient, and he can use it to turn into a giant, monstrous demon shark form. And breathe underwater while doing so, and use his
Mm.
jutsu to allow you to breathe underwater too,
So we're
for
gonna have an
some
Aquaman situation here.
entertainment.
Gotcha. Of course. Of course. Of
For some
course.
for some entertainment.
Of course.
Kisame Hoshikage has been a long-term crush of mine. I will say that with my whole chest. And I love Monster Men. If you love Monster Men, you would love Kisame. I know he's not going to win this, but that's that. I need other people to hear me out.
This is for the people. This isn't for us. This is for the people.
I
Now we
need
have our.
people to understand.
Now you have me there. Essentially, you're saying that you have a ninja version of Enable and Doelia.
Yeah.
I must ask, what is their primary form of transportation? Because you might be
Um,
asking, what is
it's
what is
not
the
going to be as good as
girlies?
yours.
What is the girlies form of transportation? I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, obviously our angel girlie, she's got wings, so she can fly you anywhere, and you can also become part of the Mile High Club. What is our little demon girlie gonna be? She's got a badass bike, and that bike rides on the flames of hell. You can become the equivalent of a new Ghost Rider. They also have hands in all the different. I'm just
Absolute
saying.
cinema. Absolute cinema. I don't want to give up on Kisame because I have had a crush on him for
I
about 10
respect it.
years, but
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
also Enable and Duelia, I want to date them.
All right.
They're kind
So
of messy, but I want to date
I
them.
I want sometimes I just want some I just want a messy polycule. Sometimes that's all I want.
I want to date
I want
them.
to date
I want to
them.
be Nicolas Cage.
I want to be Nicolas Cage and Ghost Rider.
God, I rewatched that the other
It's
week.
so good. It's so good.
It's so good. And so the final scene where like the other Ghost Rider and him ride together to the final scene, and the Ghost Rider was like, "That was the last ride I had," and he just turns around and fucks off, and I'm like, "You came all this fucking way to fuck off."
It's pretty iconic. It's very
Why did we
funny.
put Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider on this?
See, for me though, I'm just like Nicolas Cage. Yes, there is no hear me out for. I'm like, yeah,
No, no, no,
yeah.
the Ghost Rider Nicolas Cage. That's a
See,
big hear me out.
I have
He's
some
not
better
a
hear
good
me out.
person.
Julie, you know my extensive love for Nicolas Cage's entire film career.
Round two, match six.
Round two, match six. In Jules' corner, we've got
I'm
the
not letting you win
returning.
this. I'm not.
Coming in with conviction. I respect it already. We've got Quiche returning. In Magpie's
Woo!
corner, we've got Elfano from Pan's Labyrinth. That's right. We're talking Goatman here. He's not just
No.
any elf. He's Pan. It's his labyrinth. Hear me out. Okay?
I'll hear
That's
you
what this
out.
whole thing's about. If you immediately shut me down, that's going against the whole idea of this.
Sell me. Why do I want to date Pan?
Elfano. He will ensure that all of your wildest dreams come true and make sure that you are able to work through any of the bad times. He gives you that encouragement that you need to get through the day. You stop shaking your goddamn head right now. You're going to listen today. You're going to learn. You're going to learn.
I,
You
I
better.
hate this. Let's keep going.
Have you ever wanted to escape reality and be part of your own fairy tale? Alfano knows exactly what you need to do to step right into that story page. For you are a princess or a prince. You are not of this world. You're just shackled by everyday chains of being a person. If you feel like you've lost that sense of magic in your life, he will help you reconnect that. He will help you with your passions, to finding your truest self. And he's got like so many cool, like magical friends there. And he does some sick music. So if you want a broke artist musician partner, because he doesn't necessarily, well, Spanish, it's a guy. Hear me out, Pan from Pan's Labyrinth.
The way you were speaking sounded like a devil trying to talk me into a contract that I haven't read all the way through. This is some monkey paw shit going on. You're like, oh, you'll get all these great things, but not how you want them.
So what?
Quiche,
You,
an
yeah,
alien, stepwalk.
sometimes you have to trudge through the mud. All right. You have to become stronger. He'll support you through everything. He'll say you did such a good job. Here, let me
This is
take
just
care of
making
that
me
for
think
you.
of V for Vendetta. Fuck.
Here, I see that your dress was torn, but wait, I can help you fix it. Just remember, that he's going to give you warnings if something might not happen the right way. He'll give you a sense of a moral compass, but he gives you the freedom to choose to follow it
Okay,
or
so
not.
you hear how all of this is coming with like seven asterisks for each sentence,
No, I see
obscuring
no
all the bullshit that
asterisks.
you're coming through.
I see no asterisks.
Quiche is a straightforward man.
It
You
doesn't sound
know
like you hear me out.
exactly what he's
Doesn't
about.
sound like you hear me out.
He's a straightforward. You know exactly what he's about. He will go out of his way to woo you. He will set up
Mm-hmm.
dates. He will use magic and aliens and all kinds of chaotic things to just make you happy. I mean, sure, he doesn't always get it right. Sometimes you get trapped in like this cool underwater prison thing. But you know what? That's just to keep you safe and happy. And here's the biggest thing about Quiche and his cute little Peter Pan Twinkie thing he has going on. He's a villain, right? He does bad things to people who, Maggie, what are you doing? To people who don't deserve it. But at the end of the story, if you read the sequel manga, he has assimilated. He has shown that he can be a decent person. He can settle down into a job. He can be someone that you can have a life with here on Earth with his two cool alien friends. Not to mention, if you're dating him, you also get to know the Mew Mews. And like, who doesn't want to get to hang out with them too? I don't want to be stuck in a labyrinth.
You're not stuck in a labyrinth. What do you mean? The Pan's Labyrinth, it's all just a metaphor
I
for being
don't
your true
want.
self.
I don't want that. I don't want that, Maggie.
But hear me out. What?
I'm hearing you out.
The
Come
thing is,
on.
I just said that and I realized, like, wow, I thought I would throw Pan in. I would throw the fawn in because I genuinely appreciate everything that he does in the film. And I think it probably at some point I did have a slight crush, at least on the idea, right?
Uh-huh.
But I'm realizing that this is the true hear me out where it's like, you're not gonna win.
Mm-mm. It's my Kisame, hear me out. You're not gonna have me hear you out.
Yeah, all right, Kish. Guess we're meeting the Mew Mews.
You would love it. He
I
was a
would love
skater
it.
boy. You said, hey, come
And
on
him
over,
kind of,
boy.
come here, come here. Where are you? Come here. Come
Honestly,
back.
I feel like if Quiche hit on someone and they were immediately into it, he wouldn't know what to do.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
he'd be
he
like,
would get
what?
stunned and kind of scared. And at this point, you now have power.
Oh, perfect. I'm in then.
This one is
Perfect.
my next true hear me out because you're not gonna fucking hear me out. And I know you're not gonna hear me out.
Who knows? Who knows? I might.
You're not.
I
I'm not
might.
even gonna hear me out.
Oh no.
This is my biggest sin.
In the next ring. We have Kakuzu from Naruto with his Ninja Gaiden way. And then we have our twink and feathers. How? Julie, begin.
Um, in a world where you have someone who experiments on live human beings to try to find a way to immortality, a
Mm-hmm.
world where you have another person who is willing to psycho manipulate every human being alive to put them in a false sense of security so he can take over the world, and a world where mass genocides go on, the worst person than all of that is Kakuzu. He is single-handedly described as a son of a bitch and a miser. All he cares about is money. He's not a good person. The Akatsuki work in I feel bad. The Akatsuki work in teams of two,
Yeah.
and he is paired up with Hidan because Hidan is immortal, and
Mm.
Kakuzu kept killing his other partners. But he can't kill Hidan. He just chops his head off regularly. He is a bad human being who steals the hearts of others and puts them in his body so he can keep living. Um, he runs a secret mafia like organization of organized crime across multiple countries
Mm-hmm.
just to have a source of income. There is nothing he won't do for money. Now, you might be saying, Julie, what the fuck? You are correct. that is
Okay, as long as we're on the same page.
that is the right answer. But hear me out.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Tell us. Tell us. Tell the peanut gallery with a straight face. Yes, yes,
his
tell us.
his body can break apart into separate limbs like a puppet, and he has really long tentacly strings coming from them.
Julie,
That's my
you're just
defense. Thank you.
Julie. Julie,
I
I want you
rest
to
my case.
okay. You almost barely 0.25% had me. And then you broke out into the tentacle hentai. Now
I
I
have said what I have said.
now I will apologize for a lot of bullshit with hentai. I will apologize for hentai itself.
It's not
But
tentacles.
no,
It's
no.
I don't even know
You
what you would
said
call them.
tentacles. I want you to
Yeah.
say you have on the record that you said tentacles as your big portion of the hear me out.
Mhm.
This is really outing us for a lot of things.
um. Okay. The wiki says that they are quote. Blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Kakuzu's fighting style and unique abilities revolve around his special nature of his body structure, which is composed of hundreds of thick gray tendrils woven through his flesh. They hold his body together like a rag doll. I'm not defending myself. You wanted to hear me out. This is my. I'm not winning this. Kakuzu's a bad choice, but boy, you could do a bunch of fan fiction with him. I am only a little ashamed. I think we could just say Bird Hell wins.
The thing
I'll
is,
concede.
no. But the thing is, what are we constituting as what's going to be the better hear me out? Is it the one where you truly have to
Would
argue
you
for it being
willingly date Kakuzu?
no?
Okay, then you also have to. Okay, here's the thing: we're so depraved that you are not realizing that bird howl is 100% a hear me out
What do you mean? It's howl.
as a bird.
It's howl. How can I say no to howl? I see him for who he really is.
A bird.
Shut your mouth.
Anyway, that brings us to
there's
the
magic
last
behind
match of
there's
round two.
there's magic behind those feathers.
You know how a lot of my arguments have been like this man would defend you, like he might be evil, but at least
Yeah.
he has your back.
Ah,
Kakuzu would sell you out for $5.
no thanks. No thanks. Julie, I think
You
you
know
need
those
No, no,
You know those
no,
like
no.
my
I meant.
parents sold me to
Yeah.
the mafia fanfics? He's the start. He's the start of that. He
You
will
mean
sell you
Caucus?
to the mafia.
Caucasus sold me to One Direction?
Yeah, he
I'm
did.
so. Just kidding. How?
How?
But how? How? All right, our last match of round two. What a wild
This
time
is
we're about to
stupid.
have.
This is stupid.
our last match from round two is going to be Roland from Baldur's Gate 3 versus Chess, the Cheshire Cat from Alice Madness Returns.
I need you to explain this to me. I need to know how he made this list.
Have you ever wanted to be given a journey and toyed with a bit, sometimes just verbally, through little vocal isms in a beautiful, deep, gravelly voice, of course, by the epitome of heroin chic, helping you go through a wonderland, a magic adventure, some might say, while also feeling slightly like you might be killed? That rush of adrenaline of survival, but also knowing that at the end of this journey, you'll be a better version of yourself. Chess can help you get there. He does enjoy the tease. He's mastered the art of the tease at this point, I must say, especially since he's helped us through so many other journeys and tribulations. But he plays with color. He brings color to your life and helps bring you to other worlds and other realms of fantasy. Chess. Also, if you like fangs, he's
So,
got that.
Roland also has fangs. He's a tiefling.
True,
Also, if you
true.
bring him into hell, he gets wings. Just saying. So here's and they work. He can fly. Here's the
Mm-hmm.
thing about Roland. So your argument is
Mm-hmm.
that chess can help
Mm-hmm.
you find and work through to be the best version of yourself you can be, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can
Mm-hmm.
do that for Roland. Do you like
Mm.
men who are pompous and
Fixated.
arrogant and keep getting the shit kicked out of them?
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who
Mm-hmm.
have to go through the emotional journey of realizing they have more to learn and need to lean on people for help.
Mm-hmm.
Roland is that guy. Not only did he get his entire city sold into Avernus,
Mm-hmm.
upon
Mm-hmm.
getting out, he was ostracized with his entire family to have to leave the Grove just because of his race. After that, his
Mm-hmm.
siblings get kidnapped by slavers and he does everything he can to save them. But finally, he gets his moment in Baldur's Gate because he has been chosen to be the apprentice for the Wizard
Mm.
Lororican and he gets abused. His master beats him,
I can fix
works
him.
him
I can make him
to
better.
the skin
Yeah.
and bones in his shop. And if he makes a mistake, he gets hit. But you can kill his
I can give
master.
I can give him a good
You
life.
can save Roland.
I can
You
save Roland.
can show him what it's like to be
To be
loved.
loved. I can do this, yeah.
And don't you think he would stand by your side through
He would.
anything after going through that with
Chess
you?
wouldn't. Chess wouldn't.
Chess wouldn't. Chess would leave your
He
ass.
would dip. He'd vanish.
Bye!
Like sick. Deuces.
Roland. I want you dating
Roland!
me.
Roland, congratulations, you're going on to the quarterfinals.
And we just keep rolling, rolling, and
Rolling and
rolling,
rolling,
rolling.
rolling, 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 rolling. Just do the Limp Biscuit.
Quarterfinals.
Final. Wait. We'll be right back after these messages. Uh, sound of water when you want to know if you're queer. Drink water.
That's my favorite ad.
Quick shout out to all this episode's sponsors. Without you, we would be doing this for free. Back to the
And who wants to do
program.
that?
Not me. I want to be a sellout, baby.
For the
Anyways, welcome
quarterfinals,
back to the
we have four
quarterfinals.
matches.
4 matches with some of the best of the best. We will start off with A Tale of Two Horror Hubbies.
Maggie arguing against herself.
I'm gonna need more bodies and maybe the help of a Tome of the Dead to get through this one. Because up next we got a match between Stu from Scream and Ash from the Evil Dead.
Okay, Maggie, you have sold me successfully on both of these already. So who's going to be more sold? Why should I date Stu?
The issue here is that I didn't think we would come up with the issue of the
Why should
quarterfinals
I
being
date Stu?
why should you date Stu? Obviously, he has impeccable fashion taste because the 90s are back, baby, didn't you know? He also has this sense of humor as written by Wes Craven, the horror master. He has influenced so many murderers in the continuation of the Scream franchise. He's an inspiration. Stu, passionate.
Okay,
Ash,
why should I date Ash?
Ash. Ash does not die young. Stu does. Ash
Mm.
is a man that you could be with for a long time, and he has wrestled death himself. As he is trying to save the world during the apocalypse where the Deadites attempt to take over the world, he temporarily gets possessed by Deadites and almost becomes a Deadite on multiple occasions. Each time he wrestles with his internal demons and comes out swinging and winning. If he goes back in time, like the medieval ages, you might say, like in Army of Darkness, he will find a way to get back home to you, going through all the trials and tribulations that one might need to find the correct tome to travel back to the timeline in which he is with the love of his life. You.
Okay, I have one more question for each.
Yeah.
What would you say is their biggest red flag?
Stu's biggest red flag is that he's Stu.
No. Would you call Stu pathetic?
Pathetic with a flair.
What
He
is
will.
Ash's biggest red flag?
Ash's biggest red flag is that sometimes he won't push himself enough. And so he'll get in a rut.
Mm.
But you can push him harder. And with that help and that little nudge, he can do wonders and change the world. And you can be right by his side, changing the world as well. Because he thinks that all people should have equal opportunities, regardless of gender.
That sounds like a lot of work, though.
What? Doing a little nudge for Ash? No, just
Yeah.
tell him, no, you won't. And he'll say, oh, I will.
Oh, so
Quite
he's
literally.
stubborn.
Very. You can
Mm.
gaslight him easy.
Maggie, out of
Ah.
these two, what would you pick?
If I had to choose which is the more the
Yeah,
hear me
these
out,
these
and
are
yeah,
your hear me
I would
outs.
go with Ash. I would go with Ash.
All right, Ash wins.
Yay!
This next one is gonna be
If
stupid.
here's the thing, if anyone has ever seen any of the Evil Dead franchise, they'll realize that this is in fact a hear me out and be highly concerned
You're
that I'm
making
like,
him
no,
sound
Ash,
great.
Ash, including Ash versus Evil Dead, Ash at all times, Ash. All right, we've got one down, four to go. Well, up next
Three more to
is
go for this round.
another match for the ages. In one corner, we've got Bane, and in the other, we got the Forest Spirit. Begin.
So hear me out with Bane. First of all, he's corporeal. He has a physical human body. If you need snuggles, you've got them. If you need someone to bring you a Diet Coke, you've got them. He doesn't just turn into stars in the middle of the night. He's gonna be with you, planning crimes and holding you close while you drink hot chocolate. Are you kidding me right now? Why would you want to date a forest spirit over Bane? I mean, he's a big guy. Does big guy things. And that includes holding his tiny girlfriend. I don't think the forest spirit can do that.
You might say that. However,
He ain't got no hands.
yes, he does. They're just not human hands.
Ugh. With Bane, you wouldn't be accused of being a furry.
If Bane dies, does he come back to life? If Bane gets
Depends
beheaded,
on what comic you're reading.
no, no. If Bane gets beheaded, does he go on a revenge spree, a revenge murder spree, then come back to life to save the land and person that he loves?
I do like the idea of a beheading revenge murder spree.
The forest spirit. And you know what? There
Have
are
you,
times when there's clouds above the sky. There doesn't need to be stars all the time.
you
I
know
think
what?
every once in a
I'm
while
gonna,
we could find the forest spirit curled up in a cave next to a fire, a little girlfriend, huddled into the soft, warm blanket that is his fur. Forest spirit.
that is cute. I'm gonna
Thank you.
give you this only because I think it's gonna be funny in about 10 minutes.
I agree. I'm gonna be doing the same thing in a few seconds.
Oh no.
Also, forest spirit, I did not think would make it this far.
I'm proud of him. R.I.P. Bane, I'll still write trashy fanfics about you.
Just because they're out of the running doesn't mean that they can't have multitudes of trashy fanfics.
Doesn't mean
Next
they're out of
up,
my heart.
that's right, because there's always room in my heart for one more trashy
I would like
individual.
to point out that the last three boys we have in this, we have a type.
We do have a time. I see what you were mean. Oh, no, I have to.
Anyway, who is match number three?
Match number three, we're gonna have in Julie's corner, we're gonna have Quiche, and in Magpie's corner, we're gonna have our angel and demon girlfriends, and Amel and Duelia. Go, all you.
I think you start.
Oh,
You were the forest spirit. You start.
uh, angel and demon girlfriends that fight a lot, but ultimately it's their love for each other that keeps them together, and also you. They will fight for you, they'll argue for you, they'll argue over you, ignore you, but then sometimes we'll realize that maybe you were right over that one haircut, be mad about it, but ultimately make up for it and say, you know what, girlie, we were so sorry. We love you. We respect you. Also, want to totally start the next end of the world spree. Like, I think this could be really fun. And then we'll make the world in your image because we like you or whatever. Angel and demon girlfriends. Quiche, let's go.
There's been a lot said about quiche.
Oh.
I think truly the appeal of quiche comes back to his base appeal when you get down to it. The
Mm-hmm.
whole slew of AMVs that came out in the early 20 like 10s, late 2000s of Skater Boy,
Mm-hmm.
specifically not just of Quiche and Ichigo, but Quiche and Mint.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a lot you can do with the
Mm-hmm.
dynamic of a rich girl, an artsy girl, a prim girl, and this, roguish guy who's into her. There's like an entire
So
genre of books has been based on
you're
this
saying
dynamic.
that essentially quiche is the one for the masses. He has a mass appeal. There's something in quiche for everyone, or there's a bit of quiche in everyone, depending on who you are.
I'm saying that quiche taps into an innate desire that women have to
Mm-hmm.
be wanted and to be
Mm-hmm.
wanted for their true selves because quiche wants Ichigo both as Ichigo and her Mew
And
Mew form. She
right,
hides
right.
herself from everyone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aoyama doesn't know. And Aoyama's hiding himself from her too in two different ways. But Kish sees all of her. He wants all of her, the good, the bad, the ugly. He's here for it. He's game.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Mm-hmm.
not going to let her down. And he wouldn't let you down either. He would accept every part of who you are and love you for it.
You know what? I think you've made me
Also, if
see
you
the
want a
light.
boyfriend that's a girlfriend,
Quiche it
Kish
is.
falls into that category.
¿Por qué no los
Like you
dos?
get what that you get what I'm meaning, right? Like a boyfriend
No,
who's a
I get what you
girlfriend.
mean. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quiche, Howl, and Roland are all boyfriend girlfriends.
I think I think it's not something that can be described or explained. It's just something that you
Yeah.
know and you feel in your
Yeah.
kokoro, deep in your
Yeah.
kokoro. But if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. And then this isn't for
Yeah.
you. All right,
I honestly, yeah, if you don't get that, this podcast isn't for you.
I'm surprised that you're listening. To be fair, all right, our last match for the quarterfinals is going to be Hal. Doesn't matter
Earthborn.
what form he's in because he's Hal Pendragon and Roland the Tiefling. Fight.
Honestly, I think they would also date each other.
I agree.
This
They're
is
each
the
other's
problem.
type.
These two 100% are very similar when you get down to it.
Yeah, they
Both
are.
haughty, emotionally driven magician types who
Mm-hmm.
go through a
Mm-hmm.
whole mess of emotional bullshit during their arcs, who are
Yep.
snarky and smarmy, but also are like beaten down and have like emotional breakdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think they're the same person.
They're the same person.
I think this comes down to,
Because my thing
do
is,
you want a,
mm,
yeah,
because my thing is, I could add stuff for Hal, but it would be book specific. It would, and the entirety of this time, I've been arguing for Hal from the Studio Ghibli film, and inherently, Hal
mhm.
Pendragon in the books very
Very
different,
different.
very
Very
different, and
different.
I couldn't change the landscape now as it is because we've already set this precedent for what the
We've
character's like.
established canon.
Yeah. Book Howl is not canonically in a bird form. Howl is wild and out there.
Yeah.
However,
So I guess the question comes down to, do you want a bird magician or do you want a devil magician?
hmm, spines do sound fun. A squiggly tail does seem a bit more appealing than
I
feathery
mean,
butt.
think about like the tail swishing when he's like excited but trying to hide it, but you could
Oh, that'd
see
be
the
so
tail
cute.
swishing.
Oh,
Or
oh,
like if he's nervous, it
oh,
could wrap around his little leg. Or if he's hugging you, it could wrap around you.
I'm scared
I'm
Pip of
just
my skin.
saying. Demon boyfriend who can
Demon
cast magic.
boyfriend!
Demon
Demon
boyfriend!
boyfriend!
And that wraps up our quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals. Now, Julie, do you think that this is the correct time for a commercial break, or do you think we should wait until right before we get into the thick of it with the
Right before
peak
the
of the peak?
finale.
You are so right. I'm glad that you agree, and that means that we truly are best friends. We don't need that fight. Instead, we're going to be fighting each of our prospective
Ourselves!
picks. We are going to be having a Scott Pilgrim moment where we are fighting our deepest selves. And so, with that, since a gig is a gig is a
Bring it
gig is a
home, Maggie.
gig, I'm gonna bring it home with the first match of the semifinals. My choices of Ash from Evil Dead versus the Forest Spirit from Princess Mononoke.
These could not be more different.
No, they could not be.
These could not be more different.
Ah, there's not even anything to go off of where I can base it off of the other.
Okay, so one is a forest spirit and the other is a
Yeah.
human being.
Well, so with Ash, technically human, yes. However, we do need to keep in mind that he has been possessed by deadites a couple of times. There's a bit of evil lurking in him. And there's only one thing that can really bring him back after he fights himself. He needs to be grounded in a way. So he does need something external to keep him in this realm.
I've got this. I know how we figure this out.
Ah,
It's down to the story that you would be in for each of them. What story is being told? So, if you were Ash's girlfriend, what would that story be? Is it you fixing him? Is it you
hmm.
struggling? Versus what is the forest spirit like with you? Is it you coming to understand who you are in nature? What are our two dynamics we have going on?
Forest Spirit is vanilla, and Ash is going to be all of your innate darkest desires and maybe throw in some kink in it. I say Ash versus Evil Dead.
All right, we did it.
Ash, didn't think you'd get here, bud, but we'll see you at the
Proud of you.
finals. Proud of you somehow. We love a good bit of trash. All right, Julie, Keish and Roland.
Keish and Roland. Once again, these are both two boyfriend girlfriends over here. I already know what my answer would be, but Maggie, obviously
Mm,
you get to weigh in on this as well.
of
If we're
course, of
taking
course.
the argument of you already know enough about these two guys by now,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
comes down to dynamic.
Mm,
Would you prefer the dynamic of a guy who sees you and instantly falls for you in an obsessive way? Or would you prefer the guy who sees you and immediately tells you to fuck off and it's an enemies to lovers story?
hmm. Well, Julie, you do know my
Both have their
affinity,
appeal.
but I do have an affinity for enemies to lovers storyline. I like a bit of a chase,
Roland,
and
it
I want to
is.
wear you down a bit.
See, that was the appeal for me for Roland. He
Mm-hmm.
is a stuck up little son of a bitch. And the more you help him, he also kind of hates you the more you help him until he reaches his emotional breaking point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, that just does something for me. You have to
Yeah.
work for it. You have to see through him being a little bitch.
I don't want him to
Roland,
immediately be fallen in love with. I agree. Roland,
I
Roland.
want to chase.
Yes, the
Let
chase
me
is all part of
hunt.
it. Oh, oh
This is
gosh.
stupid. This is stupid.
Okay. So, all right, before the match of the century with the finals of two monsters of different types, we're going to take a quick break for this week's sponsor. Julie, I'll see you when I see you. I'm hopping into a little portal.
Hi, Maggie.
Hi. Hi. I'm Tumblr fanfiction writer Magpie. You'll never see my actual Tumblr name because I deleted that long ago. Are you maybe depraved enough to write your name fanfics? That was me. That was me until I found out that I could be too cringy sometimes. And even then, I'll really feed into that and wait until I edge my readers just enough that they can't live without me. And that means ending my fanfiction by going MIA right after the main character takes off their shirt and you're about to have a spicy night on the beach. So if you also want to out yourself as a degenerate to millions of people in the world, put your vote towards bringing Tumblr back, making it spicy again. That's right. If you ever do find me, I did Spider-Man fanfiction for a long time. All right, back to you now, Maggie. Hey, Jules. Welcome back from that
Hey, welcome
commercial
back
break.
from that portal. How was it over there?
You know, it was really weird. I kind of went back in time. I don't know how, and it came like an alternate version of myself. It was really
Oh,
weird, really
wow.
wild. Yeah, I went
It
to
sounds
some dark
cool.
places with that. I mean, it was surprisingly warm. Uh, it was one of those where you like take your shirt off. It was that hot back there, you know?
Oh, yeah, like at the
Yeah.
beach?
Yeah, no, yeah. I very specifically remember someone being unclothed. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I hope it was
Yeah,
you.
yeah. ¿Por qué no los dos?
Ayo.
Hey!
Maggie, we are at our final round for the baby girl hear me out challenge.
Welcome,
Who's gonna win the
everyone.
title of the hear me out baby girl?
Who is going to win the 2024 Baby Girl Hear Me Out
2025,
title.
2025.
2025. Who is going to hear me? Wait. Who is going to win the Hear Me Out Baby Girl 2025 championship title belt? Is it going to be Ash from the Evil Dead franchise or Roland from Bouldergate? May the best lover remain.
My favorite part is neither of us know what the other person is from.
Yeah.
You have played 5 minutes of BG3. I have watched none of the Evil Dead. Um, Maggie, I need you
Really?
to sell to me why Ash would be better than an enemies to lovers demon wizard.
Well, the joke's on you in that inherently, Ash isn't enemies to lovers. That's
Oh,
the thing that you haven't heard yet because I haven't started drawing from Ash vs. Evil Dead, the TV series, where we follow him when he's older and he's matured more. He's the manager at the store that he works at. Didn't you know? Well, that's one day he will be. But if there's someone who tells him no and is better than him, he's going to hate you a tiny bit, but also is going to be like, man, like, she's hot though. Why won't she look at me? Look at
I
me.
see, I see.
And then he might do some not totally self destructive tendencies, but he may or may not bring back the Deadites so that then you two can hunt them together because he really liked the way your ass looked in those leather pants.
So he's setting up his own meet cute.
Yeah. But he doesn't want to let
Okay.
you know that it's his own meet cute
Would
because
you
he
call
wants
him a
you to think,
tsundere?
oh, so such a tsundere. He doesn't want you to know that he likes you. But if you want to kill a bunch of deadites, or if you want to, you know, maybe put on a little bet that if he loses and you kill more deadites than him, he'll wear a cute little bear suit. He'll take that bet on. He'll learn how to cook for you. Is it bad the first go round and maybe like the next consecutive few times? Yeah,
But he's
but
willing to
he'll show
learn.
you. But he'll show you that he can cook. Will he unknowingly adopt um, a few young teens that are lost in their life and show them ways to find their true selves just because you told him that he couldn't and that he's a bad
So would you say that
influence?
he gets
Yeah,
competitive in a slightly toxic way?
absolutely.
Mm.
But every once in a
Okay.
while, when you break through and he's honest with himself, and once you've totally broken through that really, 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 really thick shell, which is actually like probably like maybe half an inch, and dig through all that like grime and muck, there's a heart of gold in there somewhere. And he'll open it up to you. Ash, the ultimate tsundere slash stubborn man who's truly the most groovy.
I would like to paint a picture for you.
Mm-hmm,
Imagine, if you will, you are an adventurer.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
You are traveling through lands cursed by shadow, so that if you are without light, you will fall into a dark despair and quite literally turn into a shadow creature.
mm-hmm,
You reach an inn, the
mm-hmm,
only beacon of hope, and there you meet a tiefling wizard. This guy, you've met him before. He let loose exactly one other time when you saved the Grove and some other tieflings and
mm-hmm,
had a
mm-hmm,
party afterwards. He finally loosened up slightly with a bit of wine and cast some spells and had a nice time at the party. But now he's back to being his haughty self, like it never happened. He doesn't
oh
have
no,
fun with adventurers like
no, no,
you.
no.
He's better than you, smarter than you. But imagine, if you will, calling
Mm.
him baby girl. and the blush that would come across his face. Well, that would make for an interesting little dynamic, wouldn't it? You
Hmm.
constantly making this haughty man hot under the collar, and he doesn't want to admit it, but deep down he keeps waiting, hoping, praying to any god that's out there. And there are a bunch of gods out there that your paths will keep crossing and cross again and again until he can keep them intertwined. He is the one pining for you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Rolling for baby girl, 2025.
Hmm. All right, I've got one better for you.
Okay.
You and a whole ragtag crew of people are have come together under the most mysterious of circumstances, but all you know is that you all together you have the ability to save the world from the deadites that are going to bring the whole world to ruin and demons will be unleashed upon this earth. And you know what? There's this guy. He's got very, very tight fitted pants, which we all love,
Ooh,
and wearing some
ooh.
nice boot heels, a well fitted collared shirt, and is very open about how, regardless on if he actually has two hands or not, he's very handy for anyone who's there. And you guys just so happen to have access to the same chest. And no one has the key, but all you know is that at a certain time and date, this chest that has the key to saving the world will open. Now you're just there wondering, how will I do this? Him? Well, let's make a town. I'll be the mayor. You know I hate politics, but I'll make sure that this is a town that we can live in. Raise raise a village and ensure that everyone that's here is ready to save the land and community that we have created when the end of time comes. And then you go and after maybe a few drinks, look out at the stars underneath a tree right by the river. Like, oh, you know, I feel so I just feel so helpless, but I really want to work together to make a better future. And he puts his arm around you and is like, I understand. And I want to do what I can to help you reach that tomorrow. And you're like, oh my God, does that mean you like me? Like, this is such a baby girl moment. And he's like, oh, what? No, no. Immediately goes and pulls the, she found me out. I'm doing this for her. And then he goes, turns you right in the eye, and says, I would take over the world. I would rule the underworld and the Deadites to make sure that you get the ending that you deserve, whether it's by my side or by yourself.
So I have my vote.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh-huh.
I imagine you have yours as well.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I would like to add a caveat as I
Hmm.
share
Hmm.
my vote with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I am going to be voting for Ash to be Baby Girl of the Year. I am very scared of how you have twisted this. I know you have, because this doesn't sound like a hear me out at all. And I'm terrified, absolutely terrified of how you have fanficified this. Because I know in my heart of hearts you are both telling the truth, but telling it in a devil's way so that it is accurate but also wrong. But Ash does get my vote.
Good, as he should.
Maggie,
Ash is baby Gore.
say it. Say it.
Out loud.
Yep, say it.
The winner of the 2025 Hear Me Out Madness is Ash from the Evil Dead. Congratulations, Ash! You will make life goofy again. Let's go!
Ash is officially the Hear Me Out baby girl of 2025. You look very pleased with yourself. Did you expect this?
No,
Did you
I
expect
really
Ash to
didn't.
get nearly as far as he did?
No, I did not. But once he
Um,
got there, once he got in the because what was it? Once it was Stu versus Ash, I
once
was
he was
like,
in the
I
quarterfinals,
once he was in the quarterfinals, I was like, which one of the horror boys would I
who can
be?
you bring home?
Who would I bring home and be embarrassed, but also stay true to myself and be like, no, yeah, that's my man. That's
Yes,
him.
ma'am.
That's my man. Yeah.
Um,
And then he
I
got
think
through. Then he got through the semifinals, and it was Ash versus the Forest Spirit. And I was like, do I want to have a boring, bland life of vanilla, or do I want to be in my final girl era, but I also have a cool ass weapon, and my partner also.
I do think when it gets to the semifinals and the like, it comes down to what story do you want? What vibe do you want?
I want the kickassery. I want the leading pro tag where maybe I'm going to pull one over on my boyfriend a few times just because, like, I'm like, well, I want to see if you actually mean it. I don't necessarily want to be good, but he's also not necessarily good. So we could be
Yeah,
better and worse for each other. Also,
mm,
he
that
still has
gray
a
area
stable job.
together.
He still has a 9 to 5
Proud of him.
manager at a store.
Uh, well,
And he
Maggie,
has
thank
his
you for
own area to live in. Is it maybe a trailer? Yes. But does he upgrade to a house? Yes.
Hey, no shame in trailers. He has a
Ish.
place to
Ish.
live.
Ah, you haven't seen Ash's trailer.
It's fine. He has a place to live.
I love this for Ash.
Um, I did not expect Roland to get as far as he did, especially considering you are not familiar with Baldur's Gate 3 at all.
Yeah.
However, I am very proud of my little tiefling boy for getting all the way to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
to be clear, I think he's one of the few hear me out I had on this that's not a villain.
Mm-hmm.
He's more of a hear me out because when you compare him to everyone else, it's like he's just kind of a son of a bitch. He's just
Yeah.
kind of prissy and like, why would you pick him when you could have anyone else? But you know what? I would pick him. I
You
would
would
pick
pick him.
Roland. Hear me out. I would pick him. You're not a BG3 person, but any BG3 people out there, I need you to understand. I would pick Roland over Gale any day of the week, hands down. And I am a Gale romancer, so there.
See, I
I
think if
love Roland.
in any other circumstance, I would have picked with Roland.
Yeah,
But I was also like, when you set up the whole storyline for us, I was like,
yeah.
oh man, I didn't set. I can't do Ash dirty like that. I also gotta give him a good running, a good
Well,
run
of
for the money.
course,
Of course,
of
it's Ash.
course, of
He's Baby
course.
Girl 2025.
He's the baby girl of
He is
2025.
the baby girl of 2025, which I didn't think would happen, and now here he is.
I'm so proud of him.
Julie, if I sent you a picture of Ash, would you be able to graphic design passion your way into putting a WWE belt around him that says baby girl?
I can come up with an image that would happily live upon this podcast for all of history.
Thank you. We could even have matching shirts of it for Nola.
Fuck. Well, Maggie, this has been stupid.
Thanks.
Thank
I'm
you
glad we did
so
it.
much for your time.
Thank you for your time.
I'm excited to see
Until
what March Madness 2026 brings us.
next year, this has been the Bunniichii Corner 2025 March Madness. Woo!
I'm
And
Magpie.
as always, we don't love you, but we love each other. I've been Jules, and that's Magpie. Thank you and good night.